Today I'm going to be reading bipolar Reddit for the first time because I've had a Reddit since 2021, but I exclusively used it to find housing in New York City and then to sublet my apartment in New York City when I wanted to leave 9 months later. I hated New York City, but this video is not about New York City. It's about exclusively my journey through the bipolar Reddit page. Now, I have literally not explored it yet. I just joined. What did I do? I don't even know the terminology about Reddit, but I is it joined the community? What did I do? I joined the subreddit. Is it called a subreddit? The thread? I joined the Reddit thread called r/bipolar. I'm coming in here fresh. So I know there's some filters at the top where I can see like different views, but also sort by like new top. And when it's like top, it gives me an option for when it loads, lol. When it loads, it gives me an option for the dates. So like this week, this month, like the look back window of basically the length of time I want to look at for all of the entries that have been inputted on this thread. Let's start for this week. Let's see what people are feeling about bipolar this week because Mercury's in retrograde. I mean, today is the Lionsgate portal 8/8. Here I go on about astrology shit. This is basically my channel. You know, it's any variety of content from Love Island to musical theater to, mental illness, but it spans the entirety of the human existence. And, I'm all about exploring the human condition. So let's dive in. I noticed if I go to any of the other filters besides top, it gets rid of the time bar. And I want to stay in this week. Oh, no, I clicked on this month. So let's dive into the Reddit thread page, subthread, what? Let's read the intro to the community. Peer support, a safe space. We are a haven for people with bipolar disorder, including cyclothymia and schizoaffective disorder, and those on their journey towards a diagnosis to discuss bipolar-related issues. A community, not just a help page. Be a part of something that cares about who you are. There are literally 234,000 people in this and 42 people online at the very moment. This is a large community of people who identify with bipolar disorder, and I'm actually really impressed. I'm excited to dive in. These post titles are wild. I hate this disorder so fucking much. Same. Yes! Do you feel like bipolar is making you dumb? Yes! I was diagnosed 5 years ago and have been struggling ever since. I was diagnosed 4 years ago and have been struggling ever since. I feel like I've lost a lot of the knowledge I had before. Also, it's now harder to learn because it's often hard to concentrate, read a whole book, or at all. And I often have these debates in my head where I argue with imaginary opponents. That may organize my thoughts, but I learn very little. I've always been like this, but now it happens way too much and I can't control it. It makes me feel egotistical and dumb. Will this get better? I wish I could finish my master's degree. This person is not native in English, and that's why the simple language and errors. I used to be quite good at writing essays, etc. Wow. So even in this post, like symbolically like wrapped within their posting of this in this in this Reddit thread, in this subreddit, in whatever format of Reddit this is, they're degrading themselves based on like their learning abilities and their knowledge and their language capacity, even though I had no idea until I read that last sentence that the only thing I was thinking is everything that they've said is relatable, and I can completely and wholeheartedly resonate with this experience of bipolar. So will this get better? I wish I could finish my master's degree. Wow. Okay, so this person responded and actually had like a lot of insight. Wow. And then a lot of people responded. Okay. So some of the major things that have helped me feel more control of my mind generally are quitting alcohol. I'm not gonna lie, anytime I drink alcohol, and I drink every night, but I don't drink in excess. I drink 1 to 2 exclusively hard ciders every night because I can't stomach anything else. My medications interact negatively with alcohol, and it's not recommended to drink alcohol while on bipolar medications or really any medications at all. So I agree with this. Quitting alcohol has been huge for this person, and it could be huge for me. I don't know. I do it socially to fit in because I don't want to be left out and be like denying this opportunity to feel drunk, even though I never get there because I can't drink enough to feel that. So, why am I drinking in the first place? Honestly, whenever I do drink, it makes me feel irritable. It makes me feel angry. Like it really mitigates the effectiveness of my medications. And even if I just recently took medications and chased it with alcohol or literally used the hard cider to swallow my meds, that shit's not working. Let's go back. My bipolar rage is what ended my marriage due crash hard after a manic episode. I lost $90,000 while manic, $50,000 savings, and I've already got uh last few months, I had a wave, one of the strongest manic episodes. I had visions of grandiosity, of paying off my parents' mortgage, of purchasing a nice car, of buying myself a house, and I lost everything and more on the stock market. On the stock market, it was pure gambling. I don't normally gamble, the risk was incredibly high, but in my state of mania, I believed it was certain I was going to be a millionaire. Yep, this person quit their medication cold turkey, like quit their Lamictal or lamotrigine cold turkey, and they take full responsibility for their stupidity and for the repercussions. I never asked to have episodes of mania or depression, but it is my responsibility to keep going and bounce back best I can, and that's all I can do. Of course, I will stay away from the stock market and from quitting medication without the help of a professional. Okay, so when I was manic, I got into a laundering scheme with an internet stranger who basically sent me $30,000 in multiple checks, and I had to send back the equivalent of $15,000. So I got to keep the remainder, $15,000, and I spent it all in a week. My bank suspended my account. I burnt $100,000 of mine and my wife's savings in 1 month of strip clubs, drugs, new car that eventually got stolen. I feel ya. Mania's expensive as fuck. If you're doing it right, if you're doing it right, fuck my brain. Oh my god. Oh, if you're doing it right. Yep, 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 yep. The drugs. I didn't go to strip clubs, but I did buy an extensive amount of drugs, like nightly. I remember one night I remember I had my drug dealer drop by for a drop one night with let's see, Coke, LSD, an edible brownie, and flour, which was all good and well, but no, it was a grand old time, except for the fact that I almost lost my cat. I had just adopted a cat, a little kitten named Bean. She's still here, and I'm surprised she hasn't come around the couch yet. And if she has, I didn't notice her on the camera. But I took Bean out to meet the drug dealer because when you're manic, you just want to share everything with everyone. You're overly generous and you overshare. Like you literally buy things for people you don't give a fuck about. And anyways, I brought my cat out with no collar, no leash to meet the drug dealer, passed her into the car, and she proceeds to leap out of my arms and run behind me. And guess what was behind me? I went to school in Virginia, so you can probably guess where that leads. A fucking Confederate cemetery. Yeah. So, meanwhile, I'm picking up these drugs, putting them in my pockets. I'm sprinting for my cat in this Confederate cemetery, fucking ready to be haunted by some Confederate fucking ghosts. And it was close to Halloween, so if any time to haunt me, it would have been then. But the more I think about it, the more I see this as an energy disorder. I know they're related, but it's crazy how much energy I can have when hypo and how it feels like a massive feat just to drag my ass out of bed when I'm depressed. It's like driving a car that only has two speeds, full throttle, pedal to the metal, and a low idle, so slow the engine nearly stalls out. The question is, what's so messed up in our brains and body that we can't just run at a nice steady pace? That's what I'm fucking saying! Like, I just want to have consistent and predictable and manageable amounts of energy so I can hold a job, I can maintain motivation, and I can, pay my bills. It seems like there's a lot of judgment on here. Like, I'm okay, so like look, edit, and previously people said they were editing above, and there's like a lot of comments below. Like, bipolar people are, all puns intended, polarized on many subjects. I feel like bipolar people are very quick to be defensive. Like, for me, I know when someone threatens me or is posing a minor inconvenience, I immediately jump to the defense and I'm like, oh, you want to fight? What about it? Fuck you. That's literally my attitude. Anyways, back to this comment. For how long will the sins of my past continue to haunt me? I try to erase every shitty thing I've done and live fully as this new person I've become. But every time I get further and further along, something from my past before I was properly medicated, before I made the conscious effort to change, before I put in so much fucking work, it always comes around and hits me like a fucking truck. Reminding me I was terrible, reminding me that sometimes there's glimmers of piece of shit that can shine through. I'm so tired. I'm so guilty. Yeah. Embarrassment, shame, guilt, constant degradation and belittling yourself and looking in the mirror and doing this like without having any remorse or like feeling bad for getting down on yourself. Like just hating who you are because of what you did while you were manic is fucking relatable. Let's see what other people have said. Aw, this is so sweet. Hey, bud, chill out. You're being too hard on my pal. My pal is the new you. Yes, sir. The second time I was manic, I was actually medicated and in like consistent therapy and, diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but that's neither here nor there. The first time I was manic for 10 months. I lost half of my friends from college in a matter of hours after a party. You think I may be joking, but I literally want to write a book, How to Lose a Friend in 10 Hours. Okay, I'm not mad about that. Like I really had a good time reading through these. Did I do this month or I did Oh shoot, I did this month. No. I saw too many. If I come back every week, then it'll be refreshed and there will be at least a week of new posts and I'm like literally in the last few moments, people have legitimately posted like 18 minutes ago, recently diagnosed and thankful for this community. Come on, like if you want to learn more about my journey with bipolar and how I literally am the embodiment of a manic idiot, you'll probably walk away feeling a little bit better about yourself, hearing some of the stories of the shit I've done and all the trash that I've spat out of my mouth and the actions I've done to people, the betrayals, the manipulation, all the just nasty shit I've done and the sexy shit too.